Hey, everybody. Hey. Hope you can see me. I'm having some TD, technical difficulties. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, bam. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing today? This is your girl, Miss Chris, aka Smart Video Girl, here with introducing the show that is bringing you new people, new things, and new ways of thinking. All right. I want to say thank you all for joining me today. Um, we are here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. We are here. And today's show is called The Journey of Inspiration. First and foremost, this is our second show. This is our second episode. I want to thank everybody who joined us so far, who tuned into the first episode, all the love. It's a vibe. It was a whole vibe. So shout out to you all. If you missed it, go back and check it out. You can learn about me, because that's what it was about. You go back and learn about me. I am Smart Video Girl. You can follow me on Instagram at Smart Video Girl. And today I'm so excited. I'm so excited today. Journey of Inspiration. And today's show, our special guest is my very own sister. Okay? My sister. And if you know me, then you know that my sister is on a journey across the country. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just so proud of her. And I would like for everybody to kind of get some insight. Myself, I want to get some insight to what she's doing, why she's going on this journey, and hopefully we can get some inspiration. And I know, like I said on this show, the questions that I ask, hopefully the person who is answering them will learn some stuff about themselves. So I'm so excited to bring you all to introduce to some. Um, and reintroduce to others my sister, Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi. Hello.
She's in the building.
How y'all doing? How you doing, sister?
Hi, sister. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hot right now because it's about 70 degrees in this house. But
Okay. But you don't got no air conditioning?
okay, I turned it off
Oh,
because it be air control. I have issues with that because I eat ice and you know.
okay. Understood. You know, you got some fans in the building. You get okay. Miss Parker say, "Hey, ladies,"
Hey,
and Tab Hack say, "What's up, sis?
hey,
What's up?"
girl.
And
Hey.
yeah, it's me. Hey, sissy. So I don't know who that is, but tell me where you're
Oh,
calling from.
that sounds like Michelle. That might be Michelle.
It might
Sissy
be.
food.
That sounds
Yeah.
like it sounds like her. But let me know where you watching us from, and where you watching us at. Shout out to everybody on YouTube watching. So make sure you like and subscribe and share and like and subscribe because that's what it's all
Please
about
do.
here. Make sure you do that. Subscribe to the channel. Boop boop boop.
Proud of you for doing this, sister. This is a great platform because I watched the first one. It's a vibe because we had that discussion. It was
Yes,
definitely a vibe. And I listened to it right when I got to where I was, and I said, "Oh, I got to tune in. I
right.
had, I had to catch it."
I know that's right. So listen, we want to. I want to tell a little bit, tell the people a little bit about what you're doing. You are
Mhm.
actually on a journey across country. You left 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago.
So May 21st, that's when I left.
Yeah,
May 21st. So what's today? June the
7th, so
7th.
June
So
7th.
yeah, about maybe 2.5 weeks. Oh my God, it doesn't seem that long.
See, we're gonna talk about that. See how you've been on this journey, and you don't even know how long. You forgot what day, how long the days.
I look, I don't keep up with the days. I'll be like, what days a week is it? Only time I look at the days when I'm trying to figure out where I'm staying. That's it. But other than that, I have no idea what day of the week it is. But
Yeah.
y'all gotta fill me in because I'd be
Yes.
so lost. But yeah, two
Yes.
weeks so far. I have been out here on this spiritual journey,
Right.
and well, currently I'm in California, so
Yes.
been a
California.
couple of days. So shout out to California. Um, I don't know where you want to start. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know. Listen, so this is for those who do not know. Me and my sister, we literally talk almost every day. So this conversation for us could go several different ways. But
Right.
I really want us to know. This is the podcast
Mhm,
introducing, and your journey of inspiration is just phenomenal. Okay, so this is what the first thing I want to know. What made you decide to
mhm.
go across the country by yourself? Okay, go.
God,
Mm,
that's
God,
first of all. Okay. Um, Second
I
of
like.
all, myself.
Mhm.
And when I say that, I'm not speaking from a place of like, oh, I just want to go because I just want to travel, which I do.
Mhm.
But I knew there was a deeper reason why. Because, for me, just to backtrack for anybody who don't know me, okay, I am 36 years old, just had a birthday, okay, Gemini's,
Whoop, whoop.
shout out to y'all.
Happy birthday.
And I have always been a person of planning. Um, I don't want to say calculation, but my life has always pretty much been very, I knew exactly what I was doing. And my life was very kind of low key in terms of like went to work, hung out with friends, did this, did that. But I stayed very much in a bubble of a comfort zone, which contained me and friends, family, at the time, a partner, in a
Mhm.
relationship. And, that was pretty much my bubble. But I want to say this spiritual journey didn't just start on this trip.
Mhm.
So I have been on a spiritual journey for the last, I want to say, 3 or 4 years. So it really started around the time in between of like before the pandemic slightly. Um, I was getting into a space of where I felt like something wasn't feeling right. I was yearning more, I was wanting more, but I felt so stifled where I was. And that included, I felt like I wasn't fulfilling something in myself. Um, and I ended up leaving a relationship that I was in for quite some time, probably like 7 years or so. It was actually,
It's longer than that.
yeah, it was longer than that. It was 10 years, almost 10 years.
Mhm.
Um, I ended up leaving that relationship and moving by myself
Mhm.
to Baltimore. Um, because something in me was telling me that I needed to be alone. And feeling that feeling that I had was like, okay, does this mean I need to be by myself? Do I need not to be in a relationship? I don't know. But, during that time of living by myself, there was a lot of different things that transpired. And I've always been a person of connecting with people. So I've always had a spiritual connection with people. But I just didn't know what that looked like for myself. Like I always felt lost somehow because I'm always helping people, I'm always doing stuff for people, but then I'm like when it comes to myself, I feel so something's missing. Like what is wrong
Mm.
with me? Like what is not fixed right now? What am I missing?
Right.
It wasn't until I met someone who was very special to me in my life. We ended up working together, and she does. We don't work together anymore. But
Because you don't work there anymore. So.
yeah, because I don't work there anymore. But see, I ain't get to that point yet. But
Oh.
yeah, I did meet this person at a time in my life where I felt very much at the brink of a spiritual jump or a spiritual leap. Like I felt I
Mm.
was at an impasse. That's what I felt. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
synergy. Yes, Miss Sharon.
Mhm.
And I definitely was at that point, but I didn't know which direction I was going in.
Mhm.
And it's important to have people like people come in your life when they're supposed to come in your life. And I always been a very spiritual person, always I know who God is, but I never felt the connection with him directly.
Right.
And like I said, it wasn't until like I said, I moved out of Baltimore and I still felt that something was missing out of
Mhm.
my life. And recently in February of this year, I have been, I was working from home and being in that type of environment, still feeling stifled. So I left a relationship where, I was feeling unfulfilled or feeling like something was missing, but
Right.
didn't get to that point and still feeling like, okay, something's still missing. Like, what am I missing?
Mhm.
And I knew in my heart of hearts, when it came to certain things like a job, like I always pour myself into anything I'm doing, especially my work or
Yep.
anything credibility to myself or whatever that is. But I felt very much unfulfilled there as well. And for several reasons, I felt like that was not where I needed to be. It's very toxic for me. What ended up happening was I made a decision to quit that job, and I was with that job for 13 years. So we're talking about a long-term relationship. We're talking about a job that I was with for over 10 years. These are all things that I am making a decision after so much time to just really be like, you know what? I'm cutting off all the ties.
Okay. So
And
let me
yep.
so let
Mhm.
me so let me say because you brought us to the point where you
Mhm.
just released a whole lot of things that you were holding on to, right? A whole lot
Yeah.
of things, and this is something that a lot of people do is they hold on to things. You know what
Secure.
I'm saying? They hold on to things, they hold on to people,
Mhm.
and it's almost like that security. It's a control thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a kind of a
Right.
control situation. And so you left a relationship, a long term relationship that you were, and you are like many people, you're a serial relationshipist, and I'll just go ahead and put it out there. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, uh, like a lot of people, and you're very committed. Like you said, you're very committed to your job. You're one of those people, opposite of your sister, who would just, you stayed at your job for years. You stayed there. I couldn't keep it. I wouldn't stay in a job for more than 5 years. I couldn't do it. But you stayed, so you had that. You on the outside, looking in, and be like, okay, well, she has these things together. Everything is holding in place. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But
Everything
it
is holding in place, but it's really just holding. It's like a tape or holding a wound together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you take it off, it's gonna fall apart, literally. If you
Right.
take these things apart, it might just fall apart literally. You see what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
these things are just bandages. So so you're on this journey, and you're on this journey by yourself. And I just want to tell people, like, when you made the decision to do this, when you
Mhm.
said you were going to do it, and then you said you were going to do it by yourself, a lot of people were like, "What? Really? How did you how did you maintain your decision? How did you stick to your decision and not be swayed by other people's opinions?"
Faith.
Mm,
Simple
faith.
as that.
Mhm.
I had enough belief in what this trip meant
Mhm.
and the purpose of it
Mhm.
that there was nothing that anybody could say that would deter me from doing it,
Mhm.
because I knew he he directed me in this direction. So I
Mhm.
had no choice but to abide at this point. Like
Come on now.
I had been shedding off, he had been preparing me for this trip for years. And that's why it was one of those things where it was important that I had to, at this point, you had to commit, girl, because
Mm.
he putting you right there.
Oh.
He already
Oh.
did all this other stuff. He
Oh. Oh. She said, "Hold on." She said you had to commit, girl. She
yeah.
said you had to commit, and she said faith. So let me tell you what that was. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that right there that's the act of Christ. It's like you said, you have to believe that what you were doing
Mm-hmm.
was what God had put on your heart, and that it was that's what you were supposed to do. So it was nothing, again, like you said, that nobody could tell you that can sway you. And I will say this because, again, I'm your sister and I've seen this journey. In the beginning, people, were like really weird about it. It was other people's uncomfortability. You know what I'm saying? Really, by yourself? Really, like, but it was your uh confidence. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And your decision that changed. It was like, that whatever reservations, quote unquote, they felt for you, they
Mm-hmm.
either shed them and let them go. You see what
Yep.
I'm saying? Or they wasn't going to share them with you anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because it was like it was one of two things was going to happen. And I
Right.
and I saw people have immediate reactions like, "Oh my gosh," to, "Oh,
Mhm.
okay, oh my gosh," and it's so. I think just the fact that you did something, and I say this to you all the time, that you're doing something that a lot of people just think about doing
Mhm.
is important, is key. And so that's one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, you first for journey inspiration, because just you stepping out and just tracking along the way has been a journey for people to see. And so it's taking you like 2 weeks to get across the country. Tell us like where you kind of been so far, and what are some of the the sites that you have seen that really impacted you.
Oh wow. Um, so far I have been to Colorado. This is not in order, but Colorado, I've been to Nevada, I've been to South Dakota, I have been to Chicago, um, I've been to, did I say Utah? Utah.
Mhm.
So basically my trek
That
across
Wisconsin.
was very, I'm going to say, non-traditional. I went a route. Well, first of all, I've never been to the West Coast ever in my life. So the furthest west I've ever been is Texas. And I've always been down southern. I've never gone up and over. So for me, it was important when planning out this trip that there was a reason why I did up and over. Like, up and over allows you to see a lot more of the landscape of what God has created. And that's real talk.
Mhm.
And when I tell you the best part of my trip so far has been driving from Colorado into Utah, Moab, which is right there on the line. It's kind of like more like desert or canyons, but that has been is a 7 hour stretch, but that is probably one of the best parts of the whole trip. And I felt so connected in that moment because I went through a lot of different emotions that day. So, like I said, on this journey by myself, I
Mm-hmm.
have no choice but to be by myself. And if you know what that means you are alone in a car. You are either listening to music, watching the scenery, reflecting on life. You're doing all of these things by yourself and for a purpose. You know, he's with you to be with you. You know, this is y'all's time to be together. So in that drive, in that moment, was the best drive I ever had because it was the most revelating part of my trip. I had a lot of position during that time. Also, when I was in Minneapolis, so that was kind of like the spark, and then it was like a whole. From there, it was like a whole different type of coming into a different transition. So, but that part was the best part for me because I feel like the drive was amazing. It was beautiful. You know, I marveled in what God has created. And when I tell you, I have been crying. I'm not a sappy person. I'm not. But
That's
it's
my
not
job.
about being sappy. Chris, you is
I know.
sappy.
I said that's my job. That's my job.
That's you. That's you. But when I tell you, I have sat and appreciated what God has created and just been like, this is unbelievable. I mean that wholeheartedly. And when you do something like this,
Mm.
it is something for you to appreciate what he has created, like going through Colorado, seeing the woods, seeing the trees, and then going through a couple of miles down and seeing the snow-capped mountain. Like I
Wow.
told my sister, I said I saw 3 seasons in an hour. Okay, just driving through Colorado. Now, how amazing is that? And
Yeah.
then you get to the insert of going into a desert,
Right.
basically, and you see
Wow.
literally mountains as big as I can't
Wow.
even tell you. I
Wow.
can't even describe them. But and then you know, I did take a in what the area? I said Utah. Utah. I did do some like rock climbing, so that was fun. I had a good time and connecting outside. So that's probably been the best part of my trip
Yeah.
for me. That experience was the best, and
Wow.
that's something I'm always going to take with me because that I would do that all over again, and and I would do that all over again.
You've mentioned that already that you would definitely do this again.
Mhm.
Okay. So listen, so what you are again, journey of inspiration. So real quick, Miss Sharon said it's awesome that you left directly from the Rosa conference, held on the 21st, which is that's a monumental. That's when me and Mommy shared our story, and then you left right after that. So you got a lot of love and support just there at that event. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
all that energy, all that spiritual, everybody is with you on this journey. God.
Yes, amen. Yes, and I'll never forget. It was so moving for Miss Sharon to actually after y'all spoke, after you and Mommy spoke, you know, to have her come and speak to me and give me the words that she provided to me. You know what I'm saying? Everything, everything that everybody had done up until that point, even the going away party, everything was so intentional and so what I needed in that moment. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was having like feelings like prior to I kept like I was talking to T and I was like, oh my God, I feel like people aren't supporting me. Like I don't know if this is a good idea. Like I don't know if people understand
Oh.
this
Mm,
because you know people had questions. I was like, I don't know if people understand why I'm doing this. And she told me something too. She was like, you know, people who love you,
yep.
they know the purpose and they support you.
Yep.
They support you on this journey. And this is not about nobody else but you.
Yep.
Your time to be with him and figure out who you are
Mm,
in that, you know. So, you know, she was like, girl, everybody that loves you supports you a
yeah.
hundred and 1,000%. And their selves will be here when you get back. Okay?
And you see, it's shedding season for you, so you know you better be careful of what side you're on. So,
Season, okay? That's true tea. Because I don't got
yes.
listen, I'm learning a lot about myself as well. And
Okay.
that's another thing what is important about this trip because I have never took the time to understand myself. So not just him, but like he who created me, I haven't had no time to appreciate the person I am. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And what that looks like, or who am I? Like I keep
mm,
asking myself, like, who am I outside of this
mm,
person? Or who am I outside of this thing? You know what I'm saying? Like that type of even that type of revelation, I'm starting to come into my own and really be like, you know what? Hello, I'm not doing it. Or, you know, I can't do that. I'm not going
it's
to
no
do that.
longer serving you. So you won't do that anymore. And what you will do is the things. It's again shedding season. So it's you again. You get clear about what it is that you want, and sometimes that's getting clear about what you don't want. And that's a process. So
Yeah.
you know, and that's
Mhm.
just there's a whole transition in that. So I'm so proud of you, Kimberly, that's what you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
so you're in Cali now. What is kind of the next leg looking like for you? Wait, before you do that, because you said this is 36, right? You just
36.
you
Oh,
are
the
36. Your
age.
age. I'm sorry. You're 36, right?
Yes.
Sorry, my bad, sister. 36. So if we're talking about numerology, 9 is like the last number. And I
Mhm.
say that this is just my personal philosophy. I'm not a scientist. I don't have a degree in numbers, even though my math professor back in the day said I should major in calculus. I digress. But
It's
with the
perfect.
number 9, that is the end. That is the completion of a
Mm.
cycle of your life. If
Mm.
you are heading into the end of this completion, this trip that you're on, you're entering that last cycle of, in cycles of your life. You're going to enter into a new season. So you're
Mm.
entering into. So right now, this trip, again, shedding season. It's not by chance that this stuff is shedding. You're closing out of something and you're entering into something. You're getting ready to enter something new. You turn 37, that'll be a 1. That's 10, that'll be 1. That's the new beginning.
Mm.
Yes, exactly. So,
Wow. Okay.
okay. Okay, I'm just saying you have to understand.
Okay.
So that is just I'm just here for that part, just to let you know that part. So again, so this show again, everybody, as you know, we do have sponsors. I do love my sponsors. This
Okay.
particular, yes, okay, this particular segment is sponsored by Wow Radio. Whoop whoop whoop. Yes, check out my girl Crib Gym, and
Okay.
yes, at Wow Radio, and they're great things that they're doing. Independent media for the independent spirit. Yes, indie media for the indie spirit. And also, I had to tell you guys new people and new things. The new thing that I'm introducing to you guys today is the Upside app. Let me tell you something. I'm not playing with y'all. If you're my friend, if you're my friend, if you're my friend, you may have already gotten this. But the Upside app, I've been using it for less than 30 days, and I done got more than $10 back. Okay, it is I'm vouching for it. Now, mind you, they don't pay me particularly for this sponsorship, but the cash back that I get from my purchases has paid for my sponsorship. So if you would like to sign up for the Upside app, you can use my code right here. And when you do that, you'll get 15 cents per gallon off your next gas bill. I'm trying to tell you, I don't use it at the grocery store.
Shut your mouth.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you something good. Y'all don't be listening to me.
Use that.
I'm not playing. And I love their motto because their motto is it's only up. Like you can only go up. So the upside app, I'm the POP positivity. We're going with the positivity. And this particular app is getting me money back. You know what I'm saying? So
I
if
need
I
help.
have to come out of my pocket to pay for things like people talking about gas is high, people talking about groceries are high, but you steady gotta drive, you steady gotta eat. You see what I'm saying? So if you're gonna do these things, at least take an extra effort, be intentional, because this is one of the words, be intentional, and get some cash back. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna keep saying it. This segment is sponsored by the Upside Down, okay? And if you would like to sign up today, you could use my code right here, Crystal375, to get your. You can scan the
That's
QR code.
so
You can scan the QR code too, and um, use the app. I'm trying to tell you new things. What I say? New people, new things. Okay. So Kimberly, I want to ask you some questions. So I have some very introspective questions. You answered a lot of them in some form or fashion, but I want to ask you some in particular that have to do with um on the laws of the universe, because you know how it is.
Mhm.
So perception is reality. Okay.
Wow. Wow. I just had this
What?
conversation. See, this is what I'm talking about. I was just talking about this earlier. I used those two words earlier today. I was having a conversation. Wow. I did not know
Really?
that. I'm so serious. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, go on. I'm
Spirit
sorry.
in the building, spirit in the building, spirit in the building. That's what I said.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about.
And look, and I have 12 questions on this page, and I went to that one first, and it's not the first one. So I'm just gonna say
Wow.
that. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm itching.
Okay. How are you able to build relationships with the understanding that everybody's experience is different?
How are you able to build
Relationship
relationships?
with the understanding that everybody's experience is different. Perception is reality.
Well, for me, wow, I'm an empathetic person.
Hmm.
So I always look at the whole story, not just the part that people want you to hear. And when I, or just, I'm not always a closed off, this is it type of person because I know that everybody is different. I
Right.
embrace everybody's individuality. So, in knowing that, you have to know that there's going to be, differences in how people think and how they are, where they are. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not in the same spaces. And I think for me, that is probably the biggest thing. Like, I am empathetic and I just believe that people, you know, I know that people are not built the same.
Hmm.
So I hold true on that because I know that he has created everybody separately. They're not, there's a purpose in why everybody is different, which
Hmm.
is why we're all connected together. Because
Hmm.
we all serve a purpose somehow. If everybody's walking around here the same, then that's not that's not that's not how we build connections. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a purpose. Everybody's different for a reason, so that we can come together and build a connection. So
Hmm. That is key. That's good. So you so what I'm getting from what you're saying is that we're all created differently. So then that all created equally? No, we're all created differently, uniquely different.
it's a amazing, it's a beautiful thing. We all
And
need to be different because we
we all need to be different.
add something to each other. We complement each other somehow in some ways. The degrees of separation. Just because you're not connected to that person over there, don't mean you're not connected to this person that connects to that person that connects to that person. So it's like you gotta be able to understand. But part of knowing that and accepting that is understanding and being okay with people being different. Like
Yeah.
everybody to think the same, like
Right. See, and that's you're using your brain. I like that. You're thinking, thinking. You're
yeah,
using that brain, girl. So
right.
listen, I want to ask you because yes, that's right. There would be no growth without differences. Say, take that,
Okay.
Jason. No different. There would be no growth without differences. Amen. Okay. So last week's show was it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibe. It's all
Mhm.
vibe. Everything is a vibe. How do you create good vibes for yourself?
Oh wow. I I actually so what I've been doing lately is I have been journaling, not every day, but I have found that I am a writer
Mm.
by, I guess, part of my internal self that I express better when I have written stuff down. I'm able to be more at peace with what I'm doing. So, like I said, it's not every day, it's not on a consistent basis, but I have, when I feel compelled to, I do find myself journaling. So,
Mm.
yeah. And
Okay.
that, and I love being like, okay, I don't like bugs, but being outside, being outside means a lot to me. I like to be outside. That's how I create good vibes for myself. I don't like just being in the house. Sometimes, I like being in the house, but I'm an outside person. Like I like
Nature.
to be out in life, So that fuels me. That gives me something. Not just the sun, because I do like being out in the sun, but just being outside, that gives me
Being in nature. Being connected to. It's a connectivity thing. It's
connectivity. And let's not get it confused, because it's not always about being around people. Because I'm finding that being around too many people is actually draining for me. But it's just about being outside. Okay, let's not get it twisted.
there's definitely a difference.
It's different. But I don't mind being around people, of course, and meeting and just bumping elbows, but it's definitely about being outside for me. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
I love
me and the earth share a birthday, so I always say
I
that.
know, right? Y'all
So
is
I
like
am a earth.
this.
I am a earth being.
Mhm,
I get that. I get that.
mhm. Yeah, and I
So
like
that's
to
all
take
right.
kids
So
outside.
that's how you create good vibes for yourself. Okay, that's good. All right. So another question: what do you believe for yourself right now?
What
What uh,
do
what do
you
you believe for yourself right now? What is the main focus of your life?
main focus of my life is to figure out, not even figure out, but to continue to build on this relationship with me and him first and foremost. That, above anything else right now, is the most important thing,
Hmm.
because that's the journey I'm on right now. So I am, um the more I've been acknowledging him,
Hmm.
he has been literally like, you and I had this conversation. Like, when I was in Colorado, he talked to me through
He
other
pause. He
he
as in
talked
God. He as in
to
the
God.
universe. He as in the higher being. This is
Yes.
for those. These are.
Mhm.
He is him, and she is talking about him. Okay. I'm
Yes, I am. And he talked to me. And I have been very much in tune. I have been so much on this journey and so involved in being present. Okay, because that's something else. I am intentionally trying to be present. I'm not
mm-mm,
trying
mm-mm,
to fast into what's gonna
mm-mm.
happen when I get back home.
Pause.
Being present.
You are intentionally being present.
Being present, because I am hearing him more now than I was 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's because I'm not being pulled in these different directions of being of service to people and helping and doing this or moving around doing this. I am present in the moment with him. So now I am truly able to really understand everything that he wants me, well, not everything, but he is showing me what I need to know.
Mm.
He is walking with, I feel it. I feel it. Like, If you would have asked me this a year ago, I wouldn't know what the heck you was talking about.
Mhm.
That's how crazy. That's how crazy the disconnection was. It wasn't the same as what it is right now.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
like a building up to a certain point, and now that I'm here, I'm in it. I am so grateful. Like I am so grateful to be at the point of where I am and can acknowledge him and then acknowledge what he has done for me and what he is doing and will continue to do. So for me, that is the most important thing. The
Mm.
continuing to build the relationship with him. Because
Mhm.
that above all is going to carry me through a lot of things to come when it comes, especially when it comes to like relationships with other people, just people, and then like, whatever my life looks like after this. I don't know. But, you know, I
Right.
gotta, this all of this is in preparation for what's to come. I don't know what's to come, but I know it is. It's all of it. All of it is for that.
Okay. All right, so one more last thing before we get into some new ways of thinking that I got for you guys. This is, again, this show is Journey of Inspiration, and we're talking to my sister, Kimberly. She is on a journey of inspiration. If you do not know, she left 15 days ago from the East Coast. She's now on the West Coast. She's been through some phenomenal places: Utah, Colorado, Wisconsin, Minnesota. What, Minnesota, right?
We go to Wisconsin, and I went to
You did.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you forgot to name those. I'm just letting people know that. So
Because I got
it's
sick in
she's
Wisconsin. Oh,
she's been rolling, but she's been on a journey for not only just to see these things, but it's just
yeah.
really a personal journey and spiritual journey. And we're finding out how she is in her shedding season. She's getting rid of some stuff, how she got rid of some stuff prior to that, that on the outside would make it look like she had it together. She was, quote unquote stability. But sometimes you got to shake that stability up in order to get to the core of what's really going on. And I'm really excited to see your growth and to see your journey, Kimberly. And I know I said to you when you left that when you came back, the things were not going to be the same.
I
And they're
hope
already not the same. And so I know all as you journey back that you will gain more clarity. I know that that will be what will happen for you. So last question, how do you stay grounded right now? What's your routine?
for me, it is like I said. I have not every day, but I make I make it a habit of waking up and being thankful.
Hmm.
I'm not praying to God, but I do speak to Him every day.
Okay, can I suggest something to you that your conversation with him is a prayer?
Okay, well that's true. Okay, so I guess I guess prayer in the sense of like
You're not asking him for stuff per se. You're having conversation with him.
yes,
That's
conversation with God, you know, and I stay grounded by just being present
mhm.
in the moment. Like,
Well,
cause
how
I
do you do that though? So how do you do that? Because that's a question people are like, well, Pastor, what does that mean? You said like, okay, woo woo woo. I mean, Giovanna knows how to meditate now, but what does that mean? Girl, she
oh
be
my
trying. She be trying. But how do you stay present? What does that look like for you?
God.
What does that look like?
Well, he keeps me present. So my conversations with him,
Mm,
I do talk to him about my reservations. He knows my feelings, my thoughts, and what I'm feeling. So my feelings of when I have overwhelmed feelings,
mm-hmm,
he gives me things to not even things like he reassures me
mm-hmm.
that stop, stop right there,
You know what?
stop because stop. Just don't think about it anymore. Like the mind my mind overthinks a lot. And I was having a conversation last night, and I'm a daydreamer.
Mhm.
And I find myself daydreaming a lot because I think too much, you know? So, like, when I'm daydreaming, my mind goes blank. I don't see nothing. I'm just like literally in a zone of just like feeling. So, like, he is giving me reassurance to stop.
Let me tell
That's
you
how
something.
he keeps me present. But my conversations with him is what keeps me grounded because
So,
Lord
yes.
knows I would not be able to do what I'm doing because my mind would be going 55 different directions. And and is for someone who's asking that question and who doesn't know how to do or what to do, you know what I'm saying? I know they're probably like, well, I don't know how to talk to God.
Mhm.
A lot of people might feel that way. I have felt that way before. I have literally felt that way. It wasn't
So,
until, yeah,
you know what I equate talking to God to, for like a feeling for myself? It's like talking to yourself.
right. It's
And,
talking to
and,
you.
when you understand that, it's like, because what you're saying, like what you're talking about, is like you start, one, recognizing your thoughts and how your feelings, right? And then
Mhm,
you say God is telling you to stop, right? That's you you're recognizing you're conscious of your thoughts and
mm,
how it's making you feel. And
mm,
that is in a it's not in alignment. Remember what I was talking about? It's not in alignment with who you are. So that's
mhm,
what that stop is. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you are, quote unquote, that's the presence, saying that you're able to acknowledge the thought
mhm,
and say, this is what is making me feel, and saying, no, that doesn't work. And like, that's
mm,
a presence, is that's a feeling within. It's not necessarily being in a room. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because you could be in a room and not be present. So
mhm,
it's being in touch um with your whole body, your thoughts,
mm,
being conscious of your thoughts, because that daydreaming you're talking about, like that's like thinking about nothing. So that's like just letting everything flow through you.
mhm,
It's like having no filter, no barrier, you know what I'm saying? And it's getting lost in the inundation of thoughts that we have, which are so many,
mhm.
which often leave people paralyzed and stuck and doing nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Over Overthinking is a sickness. It is a sickness. It is. That's so serious. It is. It's something that is very. It's debilitating.
Mhm.
It's a sick. You know. I see it as a sickness. I have suffered from it, and I'm still
Set apart.
recovering, okay? All right? Because I am and have been, I'm not gonna say I am, I'm not claiming that. I
Mhm.
have been overthinker,
Mhm.
but I, like you said, the con
Overthinking comes from not making decisions. Overthinking comes from letting, like you said, letting all this stuff just come in your head and just letting it feel. Oh, that's overthinking. And when you're thinking, because you can't stop the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's what you can't do. But what you can do is stop reacting to the thoughts or being paralyzed by the thoughts.
that's the part, the
Okay.
paralyzation, the
Uh-huh.
paralyzation, because it
So
could be overpowered,
overthinking is just the
the flesh.
versus thinking is
Right.
process where you say, okay, thought, don't like it, toss it out, or thought, okay, yeah, that's good, I'm gonna do something with it. Thought, that takes a lot of work because we get a lot of thoughts,
And you
but
can't do that alone. Okay? That part. That's the part you realize when all that happens right there, that confusion in traffic, okay? That's traffic. You got to get a stoplight in there somewhere.
that's what you got to learn. You better learn how to. All right, look. So listen, this has been awesome. You look. this is how I know this stuff goes. We only have a couple more minutes left, and I have to get into my new ways of thinking. Because new people, new things, and new ways of thinking here on Introducing with Your Girl. This last segment, of course, we always got our sponsors, and it's continued to be sponsored by CortlandJones.com, who's my book coach. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm working. So shout out to Cortland Jones. And if you see me with some of the shirts on and stuff, that's his apparel. So, that's what we're doing over here. We're doing big things over here. I'm trying to tell you, this is not small fries, we're doing big things. And I have some great, great, great guests lined up for the show. It's gonna be I have Boogie on next week. Ooh, I'm so excited. Boogie's gonna be on. For those who do not know, my homegirl L Boogie's gonna be on. She's gonna be talking about she has a journey in herself, but that show is going to be called Get Your Mind Right. So
Oh yes, and that's per Boogie. Oh, I
mhm,
can't wait for that. I can't wait for
exactly.
that.
All right, and then 2 weeks after that, we're going to have Miss Sharon Parker on, who is from Rosa. She's going to be joining me too, and I haven't figured out the title for that show yet. But just to keep it locked, I have so many guests that are great. Like I have an artist who suffered a stroke in her at a very early age, and it inspired her to become an art. Like it's great. It's going to be
Mhm.
awesome. This show introducing you to new people, new things, and new ways of thinking. So new ways of thinking. What are we talking about today? Journey of inspiration. I found a quote that I want to share with you, and I shared this with you earlier, Kimberly. And I want to think about this. I want to leave this on your hearts, y'all to think about. Let this ingest into your mind as a new way of thinking. The power of every great achievement is the faith of the person on the journey.
Give it to one more time.
One more time, one more again. The
Mm-hmm.
power of every great achievement is the faith of the person on the journey. So,
Very
the
great.
power of every great achievement, the
Mm-hmm.
power, the force behind anything that you achieve that is great,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is the faith that
Mm-hmm.
you have on the journey.
Hello.
Because what did they say? What did I say? I said it in the thing. I said they always say, life is not about the destination; it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Life is a journey. So your faith throughout your journey is going to determine how successful, how much you achieve.
That's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth.
You would not be going on based on everything that you have said on this show today. You would not be successful in
Look,
driving across the country by yourself if you did not have the faith. That's what I heard.
that's the truth. And I'm walking it right now. Truth be
We
told.
can play it back. It was recorded. I could tell you that's what you said.
And that's what it is. Because that's why, yes, that is the quote. That is I can testify to that. I agree.
You have a great
Wholeheartedly.
achievement because your faith in the
Mm-hmm.
journey.
Amen.
Amen. Okay. All right. So I just want to leave that with you all that, we do have the power. Like I'm all about mindset. I'm all about not just mindset. It's greater than just mindset because mindset is this thing that everybody has. I've had a positive mindset for years. Okay. So
Mhm.
it's bigger than mindsets. Okay.
Yeah.
It's bigger than mindset. It's 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 an action that takes place. Okay,
Mhm.
it's an action that takes place, and we're gonna get into that, y'all. You really, I have to. I've been studying your girl, been learning. This brain is being used for something, but it's
Okay.
bigger than mindset. It's bigger than mindset, and that's the book that I'm working on. Do the work and keep the faith is gonna help with all of that. It's gonna help understand that because I've come to realize these things. So I just want to leave you all with that quote again. All right. The power of every great achievement is
Mhm.
the faith of the person on the journey. Get your faith up.
Hmm.
Faith up. That's why I said do the work, keep the faith.
And that's the key word, upside.
Uh, uh, there you go. You winning, Kimberly. Don't forget, if you want to sign up for the Upside app, you
Listen
better
to
sign up.
Chris.
You better sign up and get you some extra coins out here in these streets. If you out here spending money, you might as well go ahead and collect some coins too.
I need to
All
because
right.
this gas out here is crazy. I just spent $40 on a half a tank. Okay, let me tell y'all something.
Get the
Get me
Upside
the
app.
app,
Get the
okay?
Upside app, and you can get some cash back on that. I'm telling you, it's
Okay.
definitely going to help. Listen, and they got restaurants on here too, depending on when you turn it on and tell you what
Hmm.
restaurants. And so you can get. Listen, I went to the grocery store. I spent $46 at the grocery store. All right, and I got $4 and some change back. $6 and some change back. I'm sorry. So my bill only was $38 at the end of the day. And
Mm.
I actually spent $54. I had a $10 off coupon. You better learn. You better get. I got two kids and a podcast. Y'all better get with it. You better understand. I'm trying to build here.
Book, t-shirt company,
Yeah.
suitcase.
Listen, the multiple streams of income. Get it how you live it. Upside has become a stream of income for me. Okay, so you better get it how
If
you live it and learn something from here. Okay, so I hope you got something from the podcast today. This is introducing the podcast with Smart Video Girl. We're here every Tuesday from 7 p.m. on YouTube. So make sure you like and subscribe and share with your friends so that you know what's going on. Make sure you go follow me, Smart Video Girl, on Instagram. If you have an email, if you want to send me an email, tell them Chris. Tell them Chris. Tell them. Tell them Chris at gmail.com. Don't laugh at me, Kimberly. All right. And again, shout out to all of our sponsors, CortlandJones.com, Wow Radio, and the Upside app. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. So we had a great conversation today with my sister, Kimberly, the journey of inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Um,
I'm
and let
honored,
us,
first guest. I
oh
really
my
am.
gosh.
And I'm so proud of you for having building this platform because I know this came from a place of a long time coming, but you're at a place where you have built this platform for the purpose that you've always intended it for. So I'm happy to be the first guest. So I'm truly thankful. Thank you, my sister, for having me.
Thank
I
you.
really am. When you asked me, I was like, what? What am I saying?
And let me just say that, can I say that you serve as inspiration for me to do it? You know what I'm saying? Because again, I said this to you, Kimberly, you're doing something that people talk about doing. You're doing it. And that's something I said. A lot of people just talk about doing stuff, but you're doing it. So I just want to definitely thank you for, uh, yeah, being the inspiration to me. So, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up.
Thank
We're gonna, you know me, I just, no, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Thank you all. Don't forget to join me next week. We're gonna have El Boogie on right
you.
here. It's gonna be great. We're gonna be talking about get your mind right. We're gonna hear about her. Kimberly, safe travels on your journey back. Enjoy your time where you are. Spend it, relax, and as you come back, as you make your way back, just think about what that next leg looks like for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hey.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody that came out to watch the show. I appreciate everybody for my sister on her platform, okay? And please tune in next week, okay? Because there's more gems to be dropped every week.
Every
So
week.
thank you, thank you. I know, right?
I'm dancing. Goodbye.
Bye.